Hi everyone, Ken K. Hall here. This is my discussion board 4 post. I'll be looking at scenario 2. In scenario 2, Sam Collins is being encouraged to rework his science course into an online format. There are a number of elements that Mr. Collins will need to consider when preparing to teach at a distance, but a few of the key elements will include setting goals and objectives, understanding his audience, and how he can make his instruction as authentic for his students as possible. As noted in the PowerPoint, effective techniques for teaching at a distance, clearly identifying goals and objectives is a vital part in the success of any course, including courses that teach at a distance. Instructors need to understand where the students currently are, as well as where they hope to be at the end of the course. After establishing a clear set of goals for the course, Mr. Collins can design or redesign his objectives to serve as a roadmap in reaching those goals. Mr. Collins will need to consider his audience, their experience with distance education, and the tools they'll need for the course, and the limitations that his students may have. Mr. Collins' approach to teaching elementary students with no prior experience with distance education should look different from teaching courses with older students that are already familiar with distance education courses and the tools that they'll be using. Excuse me. I think it's important to note that time is valuable regardless of teaching in the traditional classroom or teaching at a distance. So Mr. Collins will need to make sure that the tools he plans to use with the students will not be a stumbling block for them in learning and understanding the content. On the other hand, Mr. Collins needs to make sure that he's not taking the time out of the course to teach the students the skills that they may already have related to the tools that they'll be using for the course. Additionally, Mr. Collins will need to make sure that he can make the learning as authentic and, as Dr. Heidi Malia states in her article on Dale's Cone of Experiences, experiential and action-based, and not simply heard, in order to best reach his learners. Mr. Collins will need to decide how he may need to adapt his current science course in a way to provide his distance learners with as much experiential learning as possible, whether it be through conducting labs and investigations at home or through watching videos of experiments and discussing the observations with their peers. As noted in the book, Teaching and Learning at a Distance, it's essential that there's collaboration among the peers and opportunities to communicate with the instructor. I hope you enjoyed, and good luck.